Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's go. It is time to wake up and talk about financial literacy. We are here this morning. I am Coach Steele, and you're here with Coach Steele's Finance Training. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. So make sure you follow me on Facebook under Simon Steele, and you go subscribe to the YouTube channel, Coach Steele's Finance Training. And today we are talking about tips and steps to achieve financial goals. I'm excited about today, and I look forward to having this conversation with you on today. So make sure that you wake up, whatever you're doing, turn me up. Turn me up. If the person beside you says I'm too loud, that's fine. Turn me up anyway. I'm excited about today talking about tips to achieve your financial goals in 2025. We have a lot to cover today, ladies and gentlemen. So I need your game face on today. I'm going to need you to participate and be ready to rock and roll. We got a lot to do. When we talk about tips to achieve our financial goals on today, if you are on Facebook, make sure you share. You can share this live feed, would be much appreciated. So we got 10 tips today, 10 tips to cover today about how to achieve our financial goals. So I need you to get yourself together if you're not already awake. Like I always tell you, if you're cooking, that's fine. Keep cooking. Just turn me up. If you're cleaning, do whatever you need to do. I am live on YouTube. So if your TV allows you to, you can put me on the TV on YouTube. And so here at Coach Steele's Finance Training, we are going to help each other, push each other to our destinations and achieving our goals. Of course, if you've been tuning in the past 2 weeks, we were talking about taxes. I go live Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone every Saturday. We were talking about taxes, and we had a great past 2 interviews with people who are in that profession. And last week, we had Kim on here, Kim Hampton, talking about taxes and giving us some advice with preparing for tax season. So we're going to shift from that and go back to talking about accomplishing our goals. So good morning to you, Mr. Tony Sherman, as you are tuning in. And as the rest of you roll on into the room, make sure you comment, say something, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. I can reply back to your chats on YouTube and your comments on Facebook. All right, so when it comes to achieving your goals, number one, the first tip or the first step that we want to remember is we must set clear and concise goals. We want to set achievable goals. So think about that. What are some of your goals that are achievable? Now, someone may say one of their goals is to go walk on Jupiter or Mars. But is it clear? Is it achievable? Can you do it? And then you have to look at the time frame of it as well. You know, if you wanted to go walk on the moon or go outer space, there are some things that you're going to have to do, and the timing of it all. You know, you can't say I'm going to do it tomorrow. Hypothetically, the average person can't say that, and unless you own Space Force or SpaceX or something. So we want to have clear, achievable goals. What are some of your clear, achievable goals for 2025 that you may have? If you have those and you know what they are, write them in the comment section. I want to know what your goals are on today. Good morning to you, Mr. Elliott Day. Happy to have you tuning in. We are talking about our clear, achievable goals. That's the first thing we want to do. Number one is set clear, achievable goals. So as you think about those, write that in the comment section, what your goals are for 2025. And for some of you, you must understand those clear, achievable goals. Some of them are short-term and some of them are long-term. So we want to identify that. You have to make sure you identify whether that goal is a short-term goal or a long-term goal. If it's something you can accomplish in 1 to 3 months, or let's say in about 6 months, that's a short-term goal. If it's going to take you maybe about a year to 3 years or 5 years or 10 years, that's a long-term goal. So right now, looking at 2025, what are some of your goals? And some of the goals that you have in 2025 are going to help you achieve that goal 3 years from now. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in, Mickey David. Happy to have you on this morning. We're talking about achieving our goals. So some of the goals are short term, some of them are long term, and you have to identify that. These are the things that we need to be writing down on paper, or of course, if you have your phone where you keep notes, keeping notes of these goals and what you're trying to accomplish. So I'll give an example. Let's say someone wants to have a savings account and they want to have at least $5,000 in that savings account. Well, if they want to have at least, if they start this goal by January and they want to have at least, let's say, $5,000 in their account by December, well, then they need to take potentially 5,000 divided by 12. And based on that answer, that would tell them if they wanted to work on this goal monthly, it would tell them they probably need like $416.66 a month to put in that savings account to achieve that goal. And so you want clear, achievable financial goals, but you also want to have a strategy and a plan to execute those things. And when you start formulating your plan and your strategy, it becomes more evident whether or not your goal was realistic or not. For someone who wants $5,000 in their savings account by the end of December, if they only have, let's say, if that takes $416.66 every month, but at the end of every month, their cash flow is only $300, 300 times 12 is $3,600. So therefore, that 5,000 is not as realistic. So now check this out. That means it doesn't mean they can accomplish that goal of $5,000, ladies and gentlemen. It means they have to make some adjustments. It means they have to figure out how to increase their cash flow. And the good thing for that person, if you're tuning in on Coach Steele's Finance Training on my YouTube channel, I have videos that will tell you step by step different strategies to increase your cash flow, the money you have left over at the end of every month. So make sure you go to the YouTube channel and watch that video on how to increase your cash flow, different strategies, different options. And of course, with Coach Steele's Finance Training, we have the team tuning in on today. And sometimes when you look back at some of those videos, you're going to see some of the tips and advice that our actual team here with Coach Steele's Finance Training have chipped in and shared with some of the things that they've done to have success as well. So you'll get a plethora of guidance and information, because here at Coach Steele's Finance Training, we are a team, a community that works together to help each other reach our goals financially. We take the complicated things and we make it simple. Number two, let's go to number two. Number one was set clear and achievable goals. Number two, we have track your progress. This is where I see a lot of people get lazy, because you can get progress and you can get excited about it, but you have to know how to track your progress. You have to know how to track your work. Then you get to see what's working and why, what's not working and why. When it comes to finances, people have a number of ways to track their progress. Some people use apps, whether it's Mint, whether it's YNAB, whether it's Rocket Money. Everyone has, if it's Every Dollar, everyone has different apps that they use. Some people will use an Excel sheet. I like using Excel sheets. Some people like using paper, old-fashioned way. I like writing it down on paper. I don't care if you do it digitally, on paper, on an Excel sheet, which is kind of digital. You need to be tracking your progress on your goals that you wanted to accomplish in 2025. It needs to be evident. You need to be able to see it. And so that's something that I challenge you with accomplishing your goals in 2025. So let's look at number three. Number one, we have set clear, achievable goals. Number two, we want to track our progress. And we know that there's different ways to track our progress. Good morning to Anitra, teacher, baker, party maker. Happy to have you tuning in on today. We are talking about accomplishing, and we're talking about tips to achieve our financial goals. And we're going over 10 tips. Number one is set clear, achievable goals. Number two, track our progress. Number three, Oh, I like number 3. Number 3 is where a lot of people may find themselves right now. If you're tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training on today and you are on Facebook, make sure you share this live. Let's get it cracking and popping and get some more people interacting in here. Number 3 to accomplishing and tips to accomplish our goals in 2025. And for some people, it may not be financial goals. It may be other life goals. You can apply these same tips to those scenarios to help you have success. And that's what we want. We want you to have success in 2025 with whatever goals you are trying to accomplish. So, number 3, don't get discouraged. It is February 8th, depending on what part of the world you're in. You got to remember, I have international audience members and people who are part of Coach Steele's Finance Training all the way in Africa, Cyprus, you name it. People are listening all over. But don't get discouraged. We are at least a month and 8 days into a new year. And some of the goals you wanted to accomplish in January, it may not have went down the way you wanted. It may not have been as successful as you wanted it to be. You may not have hit certain targets, certain goals that you had planned to by February 8th. And what can happen is you can get discouraged. It is easy to hang your head down and get frustrated when things don't go your way or according to your timing. And I'm trying to tell you today, as you're tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training, we are live on YouTube and Facebook. You cannot get discouraged because you do not hit those goals. Come on now. Let me speak some life into somebody on today. Be not weary in well-doing. Why? Because in due season, you will reap if you faint not. Don't get discouraged. That seed that you planted, it is going to take time for it to grow. And sometimes we may not have watered it the way we wanted to. It may have not got enough sunlight as we expected it should have gotten. It may have not got the attention and the nutrients it needed, but just because you don't see the fruit of your labor does not mean that thing still isn't going to blossom. Don't get discouraged because it's February 8th and I haven't hit my goals and I haven't hit my targets. That's one of the easiest ways to not achieve your goals. You start thinking about everything that went wrong instead of the positive things that you did right. And so there are ways that you can learn from your mistakes. There are ways that you can learn from the things that did not go as planned. So that's something you have to think about. Do not get discouraged in this season. Do not give up. Do not quit. We have to pick ourselves back up and go back to the drawing board and try again. So don't get discouraged just because it's early in 2025 and you hit a bump in the road. It's okay. You can catch back up. Just because something negative happened doesn't mean 10 more positive things aren't around the corner. So let's not negate and forget about what's around the corner for us that is going to go right to speed us up, to accelerate us to where we need to be. All right. I feel like I'm preaching, so I'm going to stop. That's number 3. Number 1, set clear, achievable goals. Number 2, we're going to track our progress. Number 3, you better not get discouraged. You better not quit. You better not give up. We're in this thing together. We're going to go through 2025 and accomplish our goals. Number 4, this is a good one for a lot of people. If you are not as disciplined with your finances, if you sometimes struggle with staying on track with certain things and dedicating money to certain places that it needs to be, here's a big one. Number 4, automate your payments. Let's say you want to save a certain amount every month, and you know if you don't put that money in that savings account or in that designated account, you're going to spend that money. You're going to go on a shopping spree. Jeff Bezos, whoever owns Amazon, you're going to make that person richer. Automate that savings. That example I used earlier of someone who wants to save $5,000 for the year in their savings account, that means that person would need to automate $416.66 every month, automatically, boom, set it and forget it to go into that savings account. Do not rely on yourself to physically or manually have to transfer it over there if you don't have the discipline. So that's another tip. If you want to achieve your financial goals, do your best to automate certain things to make it easier on yourself. Some of us may forget to pay bills. You have the money in the account. Everything you need is there to pay that bill, but it slips your mind. So you might need to automate to put that bill on automatic draft payment out of your checking account, off your debit card. And of course, this last option, which I discourage if someone does not have discipline with credit cards and you're paying interest on balances. But another way is to automate that thing on the credit card and pay that credit card off before the charge date so you don't get charged interest. But regardless, automate that bill or expense. Now, if you're month to month, paycheck to paycheck, and you're worried about automating certain bills because you don't want to have an overdraft penalty, and we talked about that last month, those overdraft fees of whatever they are now, $30+. We don't want that either because it'll mess up our budget. And we don't want to be paycheck to paycheck struggling and paying someone extra fees. And so when you automate things, you don't have to worry about making certain mistakes. And so good morning to you as we tune in to Coach Steele's Finance Training. We got Mr. Tony Sherman saying his bill pay is on auto. He set it and forget it. So it's easier to hit your goals, whether you put your bills on auto or whether you have that amount you're trying to save every month and build up to. So it's out of sight, out of mind, you're putting it away. And while I keep using the example of savings accounts, make sure if you have a savings account, I don't care if it's $100, I don't care if it's $10,000 or $100,000, put that money in a high yield interest savings account and let it make anywhere between 3.5% to 4% interest, APY, annual percentage yield. Let that money work for you and make some extra money because you work too hard for that money to allow it to lose spending power, to allow it to lose value. So as you're tuning in this morning to Coach Steele's Finance Training, make sure you share this live. If you're tuning in and you know there's other people that are on your Facebook group or around your Facebook world connected to you, following you, subscribe, loved ones, make sure you tag them in this. Make sure that you share this live with them. If someone's always asking you for money, tag them in here. Whatever it is, I'm just joking with you all, but make sure you share the live as we talk about tips to achieve our financial goals in 2025, because that's what we want to do. We want to achieve our goals this year so that we set ourselves up for success next year. Number one, set clear, achievable goals. Number two, we want to track our progress, whether we're using apps, pencil and paper, whether we're using Excel sheets. Number three, we don't want to get discouraged, because when you get discouraged, you give up, and we're not giving up. We're going along for this ride, and we are in the driver's seat, and we're going somewhere. All right, number four, we're going to automate our saving payments or our bills, whatever it is, to stay on track. We're not going to let things slip through the cracks and pay any financial institutions or service providers extra money and fees and penalties because we forgot something. We can take those fees and penalties money and invest it in some stocks. And speaking of stocks, and I'm not telling you what to buy or what not to buy, always do your own research. Listen to me. Always do your own research when it comes to the stock market of what you decide to invest in. But one thing, and prayers and love goes out to all the family that have lost someone, people that are dealing with loss, injuries, pain, and hurt. But there's a lot going on with transportation, whether it's trains, whether it's airplanes. There's a lot going on with that. And when bad things happen, when crashes and accidents happen, sometimes those companies, the value in their stocks will dip. You're going to notice a dip, whether it's on that day or whether it lasts for a couple of weeks until things improve. And so one thing I'm just watching from a distance right now as I look where to invest my money is in transportation, just to see how that market is going and if those companies are losing value in their stocks. Because anytime a company loses value, we always want to remember certain principles. We want to buy low, so that we can sell high. And that's how we make a profit. But anyway, that's number 4. Here's number 5. Number 5 is a big one. Number 5 is create an accountability system. How do you create an accountability system? As y'all are tuning in on today, do you have someone that you talk to about finances? Do you have someone that's willing to hold your feet to the fire? Do you have somebody, and while I talk about holding your feet to the fire, just want to give a shout out to Posh Lifestyle. This candle is called Just Peachy, and they make beautiful creative candles. And yes, whatever picture you see, that is exactly how it smells. It smells amazing. Do you have someone who will hold your feet to the fire and help you reach your goals, your life goals? Do you have that accountability partner? If you do, in the comment section, write yes. If you don't, write in no. All right, let's continue forward. Create an accountability system or partner. It can be a friend. It can be a family. It can be a mentor. It can be someone in that field. For some people, it may be like some of my clients. I'm a financial coach. I'm a strategy consultant. And by the way, an award-winning strategy consultant too. So for some people, they may hire a financial coach such as myself, and I may guide them through a process and a system and put certain things in place to make sure that they achieve their goals. And that's what you want. In life, you want to achieve your goals, and you have to be willing to invest in yourself and sometimes invest in others to help propel you and push you to where you need to be. Don't be intimidated by having accountability partners and someone that can help push you and guide you to where you need to be. It's okay to have someone who's willing to tell you the truth and say, hey, you're dragging your feet. Hey, I need you to pick it up. Hey, where are you at right now? Did you get this done? Because that is the very thing. And when you find the right person, sometimes you'll hit your mark just so you don't have to hear their voice. You'll hit your mark on what you need to accomplish just so that you don't disappoint that person. But most importantly, make sure you don't disappoint yourself. So get yourself an accountability partner. Get yourself a financial coach if you need to. That is number 5. Number 1, set clear, achievable goals. Number 2, track your progress. Number 3, don't get discouraged because it can cause you to give up. Number 4, automate your savings or those bills. That way you can set it and forget it. Number 5, create accountability systems or partners. And I will say this before I go to number 6. Sometimes, even like some of you are tuning in on today, this is another great time to have accountability and to be in a positive environment to help you when it comes to finances. Having these conversations to push you in the right direction, to challenge your logic, your principles, your theories on what you believe, being able to bounce these ideas and thought processes in the comment section without being judged, but we can have fun together and grow financially. This is a great place, another place of accountability. So there's nothing wrong with finding podcasts or online groups, whether it's on other social media platforms that are like-minded when it comes to reaching financial success. So that is another form of accountability. Number 6. Oh, this is good. Set up consequences and rewards. So many times there are people who they hit their goal, they hit their target, they keep going. They're like a machine and they don't stop. It's on to the next, but they never take time to pat themselves on the back. They never take time to reward themselves. So as you are pushing forward in 2025, make sure you give yourself time to reward yourself. I am guilty. I was very guilty of not taking time out to reward myself. I'm so dead set on whatever the long-term goal is, getting to the finish line, crossing the tape. You know how they do in track or cross country when you're running and you got to dip that head forward, boom, break. I'm so focused on getting to that point that I do not take time to reward myself. And that's why it's good to have accountability partners as well, because a good accountability partner is like, hey, pump your brakes, calm down. Like, pace yourself in this race, in this financial race that you are in. So take time to reward yourself when you accomplish a certain goal. It doesn't mean you have to set yourself back financially, but you can just do something small. Go to the beach, take yourself on a picnic, go out to eat, go to the Cheesecake Factory, whatever it is, that little thing to spoil yourself. Now, of course, whatever it is, if you accomplish a certain goal, like let's say, I'll use it as an example of habits. Some people have bad habits of gambling. And let's say you stop gambling for 6 months. Well, don't reward yourself with going to go gamble. Like no, I don't mean like that. So reward yourself in a positive way that doesn't set you back again. And so you have to be creative with that. And once again, that's why it's good to have an accountability partner. What is something that I can do to reward myself for achieving this goal? You might be able to make a deal with your accountability partner or your circle of people. If I do this, what will y'all do? More motivation. Now, they might pay for the reward as opposed to you setting yourself back financially. You'll be surprised how invested that people around you will be if you can achieve positive results. Good, positive people around you want to see you have success. And so they will invest in you if you're doing the right thing. So also, once again, number 6 is set up consequences and rewards. If you don't hit your goal, then give yourself some consequences. Discipline yourself. If you gotta discipline yourself and figure out like, hey, what could I have done better? What did I do wrong? Where could I tweak some things? And so consequences don't always have to be horrendous. Like it can be as simple as, you know what? I was supposed to have this much in my savings account by April. Because I didn't, then now I'm not going to Starbucks until I hit that point. Now I'm not going out to eat for 2 months until I hit this point. So set some positive consequences, but the consequences should complement your goal that you're trying to accomplish. That makes sense? Cool. So that's number 6. Number 7. Reduce temptation. That's what number 7 is. We want to reduce temptation. So when you want to accomplish your financial goals, learning how to reduce temptation is very, very key. There are certain things I do to reduce my temptation with certain things. If there is something I want to buy, I'm going to figure out a way to be able to achieve that, whether it's work some extra, sell something extra, budget for it, buy an asset so that I can buy it. But in the meantime, I'm going to reduce temptation of making myself rush to go do it. If I want to go on vacation, I'm not going to spend 3 hours staring at different vacation sites because I'm just tempting myself to go ahead and pay for it. And I'll figure out how to pay it back later. Now, I will research vacations to figure out how to be able to go on that vacation for free or how much it's going to cost so that I can accomplish that goal. But you have to learn how to reduce temptation. If you have a McDonald's addiction and you spent too much money at McDonald's, then don't keep driving by McDonald's. Like maybe drive the long way home. Reduce the temptation. And so that's something that you can do if you have certain things that are stopping you from reaching your financial goals. Learn how to make those adjustments. So that is number 7. We started off number 1. Set clear, achievable goals. Number 2, track your progress. Number 3, don't get discouraged. Number 4, automate your savings. Number 5, create accountability systems, whether it's with partners. Number 6, set up consequences and rewards. Number 7, reduce temptation. Let's get to number 8. Number 8 is invest in financial education. That's number 8 on my list right here. Make sure you invest in financial education, whether it's reading books, whether it's subscribing to Coach Steele's Finance Training, where we are talking about a plethora, a diversity of different subjects when it comes to financial literacy. And so if there are things that you want to talk about, things you want to learn, or conversations that you want to have here at Coach Steele's Finance Training, make sure you just leave them in the comments section and we will cover those areas if it makes sense. If we can, we will, whether I have a guest that comes on to talk about that specific field, but we can have conversations about that here at Coach Steele's Finance Training. But make sure you invest in yourself. Make sure you invest in that knowledge. Even on my descriptions, I have some free courses, financial literacy courses that you can log in and take. It's like at least 6 free financial courses that you can take. So those you don't even have to pay for, but be willing to invest in yourself when it comes to financial education, whether you get a financial coach such as myself, or whether you're getting books, information, education, get reliable. When you invest in yourself, make sure it's reliable. Do your research, do your homework. That way, you know you aren't wasting your money on that financial education. So, and I'll make sure that today, if you're on my Facebook, I'll make sure I put on my, whatever it's called, I'll put in my comment section, or I'll make it a post so that you can see the free courses that you can take, financial education courses. I'll add that on there. Oh, you know what? Another one I forgot to tell you. When it comes to reducing temptation, some things you might need to unsubscribe to. Like, let's say you have an Amazon account. You might need to unsubscribe from that account for a while. You have like an Amazon problem. So remember that. Don't be intimidated to temporarily unsubscribe to some things if it's going to bring too much temptation to your eyes, to your ears, to your mind. All right. Next, visualize success. Listen to what I'm saying today as you tune in to Coach Steele's finance training. And I actually meant to post it. I didn't get a chance to post it. I'm going to try and find it while I'm here with you all today. But number 9, if someone's tuning in on today, make sure you type in visualize success. But there's actually, and it depends if you're in the Chatham County, Liberty County, Bryan County area in the state of Georgia. That's what I'm speaking on. Whether it's Savannah area, Hinesville, Richmond Hill, Jessup, you name it. There's someone doing a vision board party today. So when I could talk about visualize success on today, it's whether you put stickies on your mirrors or on your refrigerator or at your work desk. A lot of the goals and things you want to accomplish, you need to put things in place so that you can look at those things. So you can also have those items and say, you know what, this is the goal I want to accomplish. But in order to do that, you need to be able to visualize that success. And what I'm going to do is see if I can get to that flyer that is talking about the vision board party that is today. It is in the Richmond Hill area. And I'm going to find that flyer. That way you all will be able to see it. And so if you choose to attend, you can. Okay, let's see if I can do this correct. All right, guys, be patient with me for a brief second as I share my screen. All right, so hopefully this shows up properly on y'all's end. And it may be too small. Let's see if I can. Boom, I think I figured something out. All right, so as you can see, there is a vision board party today. So when we look at number 9, visualize success, you want to be creative with how you visualize success. And one of the best things you can do is create a vision board. And that vision board allows you to have fun. It allows you to be around like-minded people who also want to accomplish their goals. And last year was the first time I ever did a vision board before. I had never done one before. Everyone had these posters and they were putting pictures on it. They were putting positive quotes and things on them. And let's say somebody wanted to buy a new car, they might cut out of the magazine a picture of a car or whatever it is, or a certain quote in there. And so I'd never been to a vision board party before. And when I went to this thing, I was so amped up and excited that I think I went a little overboard when it came to the vision board thing. And that was my first time ever doing a vision board. And my vision board was so big that I couldn't miss it. I saw it all the time. Let me see something here. Oh, Let me go back here. So this is something that is going on today, and hopefully it's large enough, but I'll read it for you all. It says Saturday, February 8th, 2025, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., 2591 Highway 17, Suite 100, Richmond Hill, Georgia, 31324. And it's saying that what to expect, all materials provided. Feel free to bring your own pictures, quotes, or items that inspire you. Refreshments to keep creativity flowing. And let's see what else, guys. Let's see here. A supportive, positive atmosphere to dream and plan your goals. RSVP at takaranicole.com. And so definitely y'all go out there and make your vision boards if you're in the area to 2591 Highway 17, Suite 100, Richmond Hill, Georgia. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. So hopefully that helps someone out, that gives you an activity that you can go out and accomplish. Let's see. I'm going to stop sharing that. And you know what? I did want to show y'all my vision board that I made last year. I don't even know if it'll... Let's see. I'm going to show y'all my vision board if I... Let's see here. Yeah. Oops. All right. Let's see if this thing will show up on screen. Minimize, stop sharing. So I got this big board. This big vision board where I put a lot of my stuff. So it is gigantic. And so I was able to accomplish a lot of my goals in 2025 because this vision board, I don't know if it's 3 feet tall and 3.5 feet wide. So I can't miss it. It was a constant reminder all 2024. And so did I get everything done? No, not everything, but I did get a lot of things accomplished. And some of them that I didn't get accomplished in 2024, I'll just continue to work on them this year as well. All right, so I'm going to sit that right there. And then we'll finish up here. Let's see. Next, we were on visualize success. Number 10, reassess and readjust your plan if you need to. So the last thing is reassess, and readjust your plan as needed. So that's something else that you want to remember. When you go through accomplishing your goals, when you go through trying to accomplish everything, sometimes the route you thought you needed to take, it may be a little more complicated or it may be more to it than what you expected. And so based on that, you have to make adjustments. So don't be intimidated and worried, or, you know, what number 3 was, don't get discouraged. Just know that you may have to make some adjustments in your plan and you can still accomplish your goals. Sometimes it looks a little different, but that's fine as long as we get there. Number 1, set clear, achievable goals. Number 2, track your progress. Number 3, don't get discouraged. Y'all better not get discouraged. If you get discouraged, I'm gonna come find you. Number 4, automate your savings / payment plans. Number 5, create accountability systems, partners, people, loved ones. Number 6, set up consequences and rewards. You gotta have some consequences and repercussions if y'all not doing what you're supposed to do. Number 7, reduce temptation. As you see Mr. Tony Sherman he put, don't go to the mall. So if that's your weakness, if that's what will cause you to mess up your budget, then don't go to the mall. Stay away from it. Out of sight, out of mind. Let's see. Number 8, invest in financial education, whether it's books, whether it's having a financial coach, whether it's doing courses, financial courses. And let's see, number 9, visualize success. Write that stuff out on stickies, write it out on papers, whatever it is that you need to help you or remind you or to push you, to motivate you, being around like-minded people. Make sure you visualize that success, vision boards. And number 10, reassess and adjust as needed. Don't get discouraged, don't get frustrated. And so I thank every person for tuning in on today to Coach Steele's Finance Training. Normally, I stay on here for about an hour. It is 9:40. Those of you who have hung in here, I thank you for hanging in here. Make sure you share this live on Facebook so that way other people can see it and be encouraged in their year of 2025 of accomplishing their goals. Like I mentioned, if there's other things that you want to see talked about here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, make sure you drop that comment or that thought or suggestion in the chat. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube live, if you're on Facebook, write it in the comments section. But I'm excited about 2025 and what it holds with accomplishing these financial goals. I'm in the middle of trying to make some things shake myself, and soon, who knows, I'll be able to make some announcements of some positive landmarks and goals that I've hit. I'm being more creative with what I invest in this year besides just the stock market. Of course, I'm always going to invest in real estate. I love real estate, the subject of real estate, the creativity of real estate, because of how you can create generational wealth with real estate for your family or for yourself. You can enjoy the wealth for yourself that you create. Real estate can pay you so many different ways. That's what makes it so fascinating for me, because it's versatile, right? And so I always want to have myself achieving financial goals in the real estate world and in the real estate market. If you have long-term real estate, first of all, there's probably about, 5-6 different ways to get paid off of real estate or engage in the career of real estate. It's probably more than 5 or 6. So when you look at it, let's say let's use a prime example of a long-term rental property. If you have a long-term rental property and you have a tenant there, that tenant is going to pay you money every month. And that alone is giving you passive income, right? So that's one way you're going to make money off of that real estate property, that house, that duplex, that apartment complex. You're going to make passive income every month off of that property. How else can you get paid from that same property? Well, because it's real estate, there's tax laws that allow you to use tax breaks. And so now there's tax benefits to having that real estate. And anytime you can use those tax laws to put more money back in your pocket, you just paid yourself. So now that's another way that real estate can benefit you financially. Passive income, tax laws, and that property over a period of time can increase in value. And so now what we're getting is equity in the property as well. And so now you have equity in the property that you have access to. So real estate gives you passive income, it gives you tax breaks, it gives you equity to that property. And then some people may decide to get access to that equity. When they get access to that equity, they now can go buy more real estate and duplicate the process again. Sometimes people will call it the BRRRR method, although there's a few other steps in the BRRRR, the R part. So real estate can pay you multiple ways, because if you have equity in that property, you can then sell it and then you make a profit, which is capital gains. So, or you can choose to hold on to it. Some people may decide to buy a property low and sell it high, and they may not want to hold it for a long period of time. They just want that gain, that profit immediately. So I like real estate because it pays you multiple ways, especially if you hold a property for a longer period of time. So as you all continue to achieve your goals in 2025, whether it's building your business, whether it's structuring your business, whether it's expanding your business, making your business more marketable, apply all of these 10 steps that we went over today to accomplishing those goals. Do not hold back. Do not cheat yourself, but push forward. Do whatever it takes to accomplish your goals, of course, legally. Do whatever it takes to accomplish those goals. Make sure that you set clear and achievable goals. Don't stress yourself out trying to accomplish a goal that is not achievable for you. And don't, when I say set clear, achievable goals, don't base your achievable goals off of what other people think you are able to accomplish. You have to know who you are and what you have been designed to be able to accomplish. You may be able to accomplish something that has never been done before. And worst case scenario, if you do shoot to be the greatest, if you shoot to be the best, if you fall short a little bit, it's okay to be LeBron James. He's still winning. I'm just kidding. So make sure you set achievable goals and don't set it based off of what other people think you can accomplish. Set it off of what you feel deep down inside you can accomplish, and you push for that thing. But you make sure you track it. Make sure you're disciplined and tracking your progress, what's working, what's not working over a long period of time. And don't get discouraged if you bump your head. Don't get discouraged if you fall down. Pick yourself back up. To make sure you tune in here Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone on Coach Steele's Finance Training. I'm going to motivate you, tell you to get back on that horse and keep going. And we're going to automate things just to make it simpler, to make it easier for ourselves. And as we automate things and make it easier to stay on track, we are going to make sure we have accountability systems in place, accountability partners. We're going to talk to people about what our goals are. We're going to seek wise counsel. We're going to get advice and guidance to make sure that we are on the right track and that we have people who have been there, done that, helping reel us in and guide us to that point to where we need to be. And that's what I mean by creating accountability systems. And so once we do that, we can make sure we also set up consequences and rewards. When we are doing well, when we stay on track, we're going to reward ourselves. If we're not staying on track, we're going to set up consequences. If I don't hit my financial goal, I'm not going on that vacation. If I don't hit my financial goals, then I'm not going out to eat with those friends over there at that expensive place because it's going to set me back. Consequences and repercussions for me not doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to reward myself because I may need to buy a new pair of shoes. You've been wearing the same shoes for 2-3 years, nothing wrong with it. But if it's wearing out your feet and you need to buy a new pair of shoes, you're hitting your goals, reward yourself. Take care of your body. Take care of your feet. Buy a new outfit if you need to. So, and then number 7, we got to reduce temptation. Don't go to the mall. Don't click on the Amazon website and stay on there scrolling through for an hour. You might accidentally buy something. You're going to find something that you say, oh, well, it doesn't cost that much. So reduce temptation. Make sure you unsubscribe from those things that may hinder you. Also, invest in financial education. Make sure you stay plugged into Coach Steele's Finance Training. Make sure that when I post that free financial course, education course on my site today, that you dive in and take that free financial course. Invest in your financial education. If you need a financial coach, come holler at your boy. I'll help you get right financially. Also, number 9, visualize success. I already told you where there's a vision board today. Have fun. You don't have to bring as big of a board as I did, because they already are going to have the supplies and everything there for you. But participate and make a vision board. If you can't make it out to that, then make your own vision board at home. Put some nice music on, something motivational, and relax and write out your goals for 2025. Because when you accomplish those goals in 2025, I want to know about them. I want to be able to hear. I want you to come in the comment section and say, hey, Simon, Coach Steele, I accomplished this goal. I was able to do that. I'm on to the next goal. I want to get some feedback of your progress and success. It motivates me. And also, if you want to, you can also give the Coach Steele's Finance Training. I don't know how, but Facebook said y'all can do stars or something. So please utilize that too. Nothing wrong with giving back. So make sure you do a star thing or whatever on Facebook, and now smile. And of course, whatever you give is going to Cameroon to help people that are less fortunate, that don't have food, that don't have clothes, that can't afford school fees. So it'll always go to help someone else. It won't necessarily go to me. And number 10, reassess and readjust. Make whatever adjustments you need to accomplish your goals. Ladies and gentlemen, if you made it to the end of this, just go ahead and give yourself a hand clap. You did an awesome job on today. And if you're watching this video late, don't worry. You can go back and rewatch it. Usually I'll do replays of Saturdays on like Tuesday evenings. So you can always rewatch it again. And usually when I do the replays, I'm here watching too. So make sure you're in the comment section and I'll respond back to you. And thanks guys for tuning in once again to another Coach Skills Finance Training. It's been awesome. You all be blessed. You have a great Saturday. Valentine's Day is coming up. So look at your budget. Don't make that girl make you spend too much. Don't make her throw your budget off. You got to tell her Coach Steele said. Yeah, you got to let her know. We got goals in 2025 and Valentine's Day isn't it. I'm just kidding. Do whatever you got.